It's about 5:30 in the morning. Excuse me. In like my other feeling-based video from a couple of days ago or sometime last week, I have trouble sleeping. And there comes a point where you know so much information and so much about human behavior from observation and research that you can't help but be hyper analytical. And I see this as well, it's a double-edged sword rather. It's highly valuable, but it's also a curse. You know, it's that age-old adage. The more you know, the less happy you are. But I'd rather know than to be taken advantage of. And you get tired of the compassion, you get tired of the hope and the change, and everything is fine. Propaganda. You don't have to worry about the future. It's not like I ever did. The banks own it anyway. There's this metaphor. I remember telling another person in the arts here in London years ago, when artists get together, what do they talk about? Money. What do rich people talk about when they get together? Art. I don't expect a lot of people to watch these things. All 21 of my subscribers. And the average view rate of about 4 minutes. And that's more attribution to our current society, and that nobody has the time or the attention span anymore, as it's the current year, 2023. And naturally, one of the motivations behind doing a lot of these, actually the whole video thing, is just being sick and tired of how things are progressing, for this progressivism, this change for change's sake, accelerated for the modus operandi of someone else's agenda. And you get screwed easily by those who sell to you this utopian idealism. Hence why I held a funeral for it all by myself. And it takes a long time to build something. Very long time. Especially when there's no foundation, or the foundation has been crumbling and undermined by sneaker fuckers. It's very hard to trust each other. And as it is with that utopia experiment with the mice, eventually, with too much excess and too much stimulation, the male mice become more preoccupied with their grooming than they do with entertaining women. And they start fighting each other. They get smaller and smaller. And all of a sudden the colony collapses. And it happened, 25 times he did the experiment? Every time it ended up the same way. Because when we treat men and other men as disposable, and the straw man, or any particular person, well, not any particular person, but, well, yes, actually a person in a friend group or demographic as the straw man, then the whole ecosystem collapses. And just stare at this phone of mine, this age of decadence and stimulation. And all I want to do is go back to reading books. Things are quieter and slower. And act like an old man. I mean, I'm already there. And to feel like an old man being close to 40, I can't help but think what it'll be, another 20 years from now, if I don't find a woman or have a family. What happens in 25 years from now, or 30 years from now, when my parents are long gone? They'd say, my support systems, they evaporate. Because we could all end up homeless tomorrow. Safe spaces, there's not many of those anymore. You can't even trust the person beside you, in my opinion. And that makes it even harder to form new friendships. Because the agreeances and the rules of engagement completely blown out of the water. It used to be more about who you were and what you did as a person, and not your sexual orientation or your beliefs. But suddenly, the reversal became true, as it was always the agenda to cause the collapse of civilization through propaganda and repetition of the message through technology, because that's actually how propaganda works. And with every advancement, the increasing ignorance, the advantage of those who control the medium that they have over those who are subjected to it or use it. Those who control the media send out the message. If there's anything I need to say in this video, and if you get this far, I need a woman in my life. And I need her closer. Every man needs a woman. Every woman needs a man. And we shouldn't forget about that. Because creation is divine. And when there's no audience and there's no one to appreciate it, then those people wither on the vine and they disappear to the annals of history. and destroyed by propaganda.